Good evening, everyone, or whatever time it is when you're watching this video. Welcome back to A Scene Rose Tarot. My name is Emily, and I'm happy to bring you another pick a card reading this evening. I thought today we would do a pick a deck, so you'll be able to pick one out of 4 different tarot decks, and we'd look into how you're leveling up. So what your current situation is in life, where you are in your spiritual evolution, and where your guides and angels, ancestors, and other spiritual beings helping you along, where they are kind of gently nudging you or trying to guide you to make progress in your life, where your next big breakthrough is going to be, just how you're moving forward in life, how you're progressing, and the exciting things that you have to look forward to. So with that said, I will be doing 4 piles. We'll have pile 1, this is the Tarot of the Divine. Pile 2, this is the, not the Spirit Song Tarot, but this is the Star Spinner Tarot, sorry. This is our tarot, pile 3, and this is the Housewives Tarot for pile 4. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to just look at these cards and determine which pile speaks to you the most, and then we'll move directly into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you chose the Tarot of the Divine, the back of the deck looking like this, this is going to be your reading on how you are being called to level up right now. So I flipped over 4 cards for you, and then I have your back of the deck energy here. And I'm noticing, so again, this is the 3 of Cups, and I'm getting this sense of Trinity, this kind of idea of like body, mind, spirit. Is like, yeah, that's what I heard, body, mind, spirit. Kind of this idea of like 3 guardians that are watching over you. I don't know if that resonates with any of you. But yeah, this kind of idea of body, mind, spirit, of coming into wholeness within oneself. I'm thinking sort of like a wellness journey. And it's interesting, it's kind of supported by this page of coins here, this page of pentacles. And I'm almost feeling like you may have actually already done some leveling up in terms of health. I'm hearing, that you potentially lost weight, that maybe you changed your diet, that you undertook some kind of health journey that's like led you recently to a much better place. Like your health is better, you're in a place where you could potentially start feeling better about yourself. Not that it's dependent on how you look necessarily, but just that you feel like you feel like you're in a place where you should be more comfortable in your own skin. And I'm almost getting that, like with this World card, you see like a relation, 2 people here who are clearly very much in love, and I'm feeling like it's possible that you even attracted a relationship into your life recently. I'm really feeling the sense of like a health journey undertaken, a fitness journey. Maybe you have like a new exercise routine that's going really well. Maybe you're like training for a marathon or something of that nature. I mean, you've taken up this new regimen or passion, pursuit related to your wellness and physical health. And I'm just seeing that like you've attracted in a relationship, or a relationship is theoretically, it feels like it should be going well. I'll get to why I say should in a minute. Or there's someone that you're interested in, or I mean, this could even be that you're just feeling like really good within yourself. But I am kind of getting the energy of another person. It's almost like I get this like kind of windfall energy where you feel like you kind of feel like you should be on top of the world. It's like you've accomplished a lot of things that you always wanted to accomplish, actually, in terms of your health and physical appearance. And the love and relationships area of your life. So, I mean, first of all, I want to say congratulations, because in order to get to that kind of a place in your physical 3D reality, it takes a lot of inner work. It takes a lot of, grappling with self before you can kind of translate that into your physical reality. It takes a lot of, adjusting our limiting beliefs and learning how to love ourselves better and learning how to communicate and how to, manifest, manifest positivity in our own lives, in our own, physical health and wellness lives, and in our sort of relational lives, calling in that person who's really going to treat us the way that we deserve. But what's kind of interesting here is we've got, we come up next with the Justice card and the Four of Coins. And I think, what this is kind of telling me is, like, you have your guides coming through saying that there's a need for balance, because while, you have gotten a lot of good things to kind of come into your physical reality, and you have balanced out some of those limiting beliefs, there's still a little ways to go until you can really accept them and feel that you almost deserve them, in a sense. That's kind of the word that I'm hearing. It's like there's like this poor woman here sort of cowering behind the wings of this vulture, and I'm getting that, like, you're not it's almost like on an emotional level, you're not fully ready to open yourself up to the good things that are in your life and really connect to feeling the goodness, feeling the joy there, feeling that you're deserving of these great gifts, you're deserving of this great abundance. And again, the Four of Coins, it is a Pentacles card. It's a card that can many times definitely talk about finances, but here I really am thinking, you've been blessed with this prosperity in terms of, like, real world conditions, such as improved health and improved relationships. But you're still, there's a part of you that's still not fully, it's like, I don't want to say aligned, because you've obviously brought them into your life, but you're not, it's like in the relationship, you're having trouble opening up to the other person. There's like a level of vulnerability that hasn't occurred yet, that needs to occur, and that in order for the relationship to eventually progress. Because I'm kind of getting that this is a relationship. It could be like a newer relationship, or maybe one that's come back into your life after a period of separation. And it's just kind of saying, it's like, yeah, it's like with this Justice card, it's always about the scales of balance, and it's like, yeah, these things have. It's funny. It's almost like, you hear the phrase "as within, so without." And yeah, on a certain level, it's like you need to sort of adjust the limiting beliefs before you can start to have the things come into your reality. But it's almost like, it's like I'm hearing for your guides almost, it's like you attracted the good things in so that you could be confronted with the reality that you deserve them. And, like, it's almost that you could see what you are on the inside, like, reflected to you on the outside, and then have to, like, process that reality. It's a kind of an odd situation, but it's almost like they it's like these things came into your life so that you could experience and appreciate the reality of, like, how amazing, how amazing you are, and how amazing your soul is, and how much beauty is to be found inside you, because it's being reflected on the outside. And you just need to kind of come into alignment with that on a conscious level. And it's about integrating these three areas of body, mind, and spirit. So it's kind of like, it's like, I feel like the body part is like the body area has come together. The spirit area has obviously come together, because, like, I feel like on a spiritual level, you've sort of processed these lessons, but it's like the mind hasn't quite accepted it yet. The mind hasn't, it's like your conscious mind hasn't seen your true beauty yet, and you're feeling, it's like sometimes you feel a little down on yourself, like, who am I to have this great partner? Who am I to like feel this good about myself when I look in the mirror kind of energy. It's like the energy of, like, and maybe this is, like, literally your situation where someone, where someone loses a bunch of weight and they're still wearing the clothes that they were wearing, you know, when they weighed more, because it's like they can't quite realize or process that they have lost weight, and they can go out and buy new clothes and kind of really get used to their new appearance. Like it's that kind of energy where it's like it's like your mind hasn't caught up to the reality of like what your physical, try to get it in the camera, it's funny, like your physical situation is, and like there's so much to be proud of here, and you haven't quite processed that yet. That's kind of what I'm getting. And it's like, there's all this good stuff in your life, but, you know, especially in terms of the relationship and like, you know, moving further down this path, it's like there's this sense of kind of guilt and fear of vulnerability that you're being asked to work through right now in order to, you know, get to that next level of intimacy, and maybe even like deepen and strengthen that commitment, you know, like as time goes by further down the road. It's like, it's just like opening yourself to all the goodness that's in your life, kind of realizing that you do deserve it, and you know, these feelings of unworthiness are not, you know, that they're not really you. You know, it's like I'm not sure exactly how to say it, but it's this fear that what's come into your life is almost like a mistake or a fluke. You know, it's like it's not really worthy of you, and you know, potentially you've been through a lot of struggle, you've been through a lot of hard times, you've been through a lot of pain, suffering, feeling really down on yourself, and it's like you're still, part of you is still kind of, especially your conscious mind, is still stuck in that energy, and we have to, you know, completely transmute it and move out of it. So that's what I'm seeing for you in terms of your situation. I do have some oracles that I will look at in a little bit. I'm just going to bring through 3 more tarot cards, just kind of as advice and any additional information we can get in terms of like exactly how you should accomplish this leveling up. But yeah, we'll get to the oracles in just a sec. So 3 more, just like sort of 3 more pieces of advice from the tarot. All right, so let's see what you get. All right, so we've got, I don't read reversals. Some of these cards are reversed. I haven't flipped them over all properly. This is, we have the 9 of Pentacles, the 2 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. Wow, 2 9s. So I mean, again, 9 is the number of expansion, spiritual study, travel. I think it also, you know, it resonates with the sign of Sagittarius, so that might be significant to you. Maybe you are a Sagittarius, or you have Sagittarius placements in your chart. But yeah, 2 9s. I mean, that's like the number before you fully complete a cycle, right? That's the number before the 10. So it's like you have like that tiny little bit of work, you know, sort of spiritual work before you complete a cycle. But at any rate, the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Coins. I mean, these are just cards of immense self, like, it's like the wish fulfilled card is obviously the 9 of Cups, of having your dreams coming true, and the 9 of Coins is a card of independence, of self-efficacy, you know, kind of making it on your own, being a self-made, usually it's a woman, but here we have a man, so, you know, it can be any kind, a self-made person, someone who is prosperous, you know, through their own efforts, independently wealthy. And I think, I think what's interesting here, we have the 2 of Wands, and actually, you know, I'm thinking about another, I happened to see another reading online recently that had the same I don't think it was the same like tarot card exactly like the Two of Wands, but it did have this god here, this Greek god. Maybe he's Greek or maybe he's Roman. I actually forget. But his name is Janus, and he's like a sort of he has two faces. And I remember this reader was talking about Janus facing the past and the future, right? So he's the two-headed god that can look both into the past and into the future. And I kind of think that the message here is that, you know, it's possible your attention is kind of like part of the reason why you may feel stressed out, you know, on a conscious level, is that your attention is kind of bifurcated between the past and the future, right? It's like you're either, you know, consumed with like shameful memories of how you felt in your past and the difficult things that you went through in the past, or you're worried about the future, right? You're kind of worried about, you know, well, what if the other shoe drops? What if this person that I'm with or that I just got into a relationship with, what if they see the real me and decide they don't love me, or they can't, you know, they don't like me, that I'm not the right person for them. It's like this combination of like shame and, you know, embarrassment and leftover sort of negative emotion from your past, plus like these like future projections of, you know, bad things that could potentially happen based on stressful things that have happened in your past. It's like you're kind of like, it's like, you know, reliving those stressors because they're not fully processed yet, and also like kind of projecting them in the future in an attempt to kind of like subconsciously, it's like you want to feel prepared for any bad thing that might happen, so that, you know, it's like you're kind of like, that's why we kind of like, you know, the word is like future trip, because, well, it's one of the reasons we can future trip, because we're trying to prepare ourselves for any potential negative consequences that, you know, or negative events that may be coming up, and, you know, because we don't want anything to catch us off guard. But I mean, I think what they're saying is that like there's so much like love and happiness and beauty and just like amazing fulfillment available in the now, like available like right between these two wands here, right? It's like it's kind of stuck between the past and the future, but you know that your attention isn't in the now. And I think it's like the more you stay present with what's happening to you right now, and you know, realize that the past doesn't have to be, that the past doesn't have to repeat itself in the future, and, you know, not worrying too much about tomorrow. I mean, the more you just enjoy what's available for you, you know, both in, you know, your relationship and, you know, and just like things like, this guy's like, you know, looking at a watermelon, you know, if you're, whatever it is that, like, if you've changed your diet, like enjoying your new healthy food, or, you know, enjoying your exercise regimen, enjoying like all of the sort of physical and material pleasures that are available to you, that are like healthier and like make you feel good and have like really changed your life. Yeah, it's like they're just saying like, be here now. You know, I'm sure you've probably heard that phrase, but yeah, like be here now, be in the present. You don't need to, you know, you don't need to be worrying as much about the future. I mean, and I think, you know, the Two of Wands is, it's like they're not giving you much information about the future, because I don't think you're meant to be future tripping, because like the Two of Wands is a card that's like, it's like very full of optimism about the future. It's one of the more optimistic cards in the deck, but you know that like the plan isn't super developed yet, right? It's not like the Three of Wands. So yeah, it's just, you know, enjoy your present and know that like there are more good things to come, right? I think that, yeah, it's like, it's almost like you've already done your leveling up in a sense, and you just need to learn to learn to enjoy it almost. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's, you know, you just need to fully settle in, and you need to come into alignment with the belief that you deserve it, and that it's yours and that you created it. and expect it to continue. So, yeah, so that's what I'm getting for you there. And now we're going to move on to your oracle. So I'm going to start out with these. These are Crystal Wisdom Healing cards. I may have to use the deck for these because I haven't memorized the crystals, but at any rate, we have Anandalite and Mukaite Jasper. So this Anandalite is a 25, which reduces to a 7. Yeah, and then the Mukaite Jasper is a 3. So we'll go ahead and look these up. So this 25 Anandalite. Yeah, cosmic consciousness. And yeah, this is perfect. So Anandalite gently facilitates integration and releases emotional blockages standing in the way of spiritual awakening. It reminds us that consciousness is omniscient and omnipresent, seeing all, knowing all. Immerse yourself in the mystical interconnectedness that is cosmic consciousness. Yeah, let feelings of separation fall away is one of the messages. So like any place where you feel separated from your divinity, where you feel like you're not deserving of what you've manifested or what you have, your guides and angels are assisting you to integrate that awareness right now. Becoming a vessel for cosmic consciousness. So, yeah, I mean, I think, like I was saying before, like on a spiritual level, parts of you have kind of integrated some of this awareness, but it's almost like, it's like filtering down more into your everyday awareness now. It's just like sort of greater levels of awakening that are becoming available to you. So yeah, it's like stripped to the bone as the old falls away, do not despair, new light is infused. So yeah, when you transform your awareness, humanity experiences a quantum shift. So yeah, just overall awakening and upgrades, I think, is kind of the message there, and helping to clear out some of these last blockages. And then Mukaite Jasper. Oh my goodness. What? Okay, this is crazy. Mukaite Jasper. Mukaite Jasper balances inner and outer experiences. Okay, I just have to bring this back. Balances inner and outer experiences. It encourages versatility and openness to new experiences, helping you to choose the right path. It says turn failure into a learning experience. Oh yeah, first of all, I just want to say what you dreamed you created, reap rewards or rectify imbalances. So yeah, teaching you that you, all of these beautiful things in your life right now, you did manifest from your own spiritual awareness, and immense progress on your kind of, your inner belief systems and any of, the possible traumas or patterning that were holding you back. You definitely did that work, and you created what you're seeing in your reality right now. Turn failure into a learning experience. So, your past, like I was saying, like with the Two of Wands card, it's like your past, like these can be learning experiences. We're not, you don't need to feel stuck or fearful of, the idea that these experiences or that the exact same patterns are going to repeat again, because I think largely part of the message here is that you've transcended a lot of them, and that's, as a result, that's why you're seeing these good things in your life. So it's definitely a positive message. It says you are what you eat. Good nutrition with wholesome organic food sustains your well-being. So another message about physical health and diet, which, I'm sure that's something that you've probably been working on, or perhaps you are working on now. So yeah, just more supportive messages. Let's move on to your archetype card. So we're just going to look at archetypes that you may be working with right now, whether light or shadow. I'll kind of, talk about those as I feel guided. We've got Rebel and Angel. Interesting. Yeah, so Rebel challenges authority to effect social change. Reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Yeah, and I think it could be that, you know, part of what happened when you took this journey and arrived at this sort of page of coins energy, you know, it's like I see kind of these mountains in the background and this bright sun. I mean, this is, you know, again, it's a page of pentacles, which usually it's one of the, you know, in comparison to the knight, the queen, and the king, it's not the most sort of like, I don't know if strongest is the right word, but it's, you know, it's not considered one of the most quote unquote powerful court cards, but I feel like this is a really powerful page of pentacles. I mean, in this deck, it talks a lot about kind of innocence, newness, and I'm really sensing that maybe part of what you had to do to get to this place was to maybe walk away from people or things or structures or belief systems, maybe family drama or trauma, patterning that wasn't serving you, and, you know, claim your power maybe in new spiritual systems or in, you know, different ways of eating, different ways of caring for yourself, of looking after your health and wellness. And yeah, I'm just saying, like, reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. So again, with this like innocence, like with this page of coins having a connotation of innocence and newness, it's possible that you had to really walk away and stand in your power and assert boundaries in order to get where you are. And I think they're just congratulating you on that and just confirming that that was the right thing for you to do, for sure. Yeah, and that ultimately is going to help, you know, when each of us do that on an individual level, it helps create change in the collective. So that's very positive. And then angel, yeah, helping those in need with no expectation of return. So, yeah, I mean, I think, it's almost like, well, first of all, you have angels and guides that are very proud of you, and that love you and that are absolutely helping you from the other side with no expectation of return. I mean, I think it's just like really reiterating that there's divine guidance, but also that, like, really getting the sense that this person, whoever it is that you're, I mean, if this is a situation where you're in a new relationship or you're you're with somebody, it's like, you know, you have this fear that once they see the real you, that, you know, they might reject you, or you just feel like you're unable to share all of yourself with them, or you're just like having trouble being emotionally vulnerable. Yeah, there's just this fear of rejection, fear of abandonment is kind of what I'm sensing with this card, in regard to relationships. And like, I feel like with this angel card, it's like they're trying to reassure you that, again, this isn't necessarily what the card is saying, but it's like this person has like a very high opinion of you. It feels cliche to say like, oh, they see you as an angel, but it's like it's like they do see this like divine glow around you, this sort of like beautiful light. And, you know, it's like they see this beautiful light. And even in situations where you feel like you're not, you know, where you are being vulnerable, or there's a sense where like you feel like you're not perfect or whatever, or you're not exactly what you should be or what you need to be, they see you for, like, they see the truth of who you are, and they're not gonna hold that against you. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable with them, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because this person is loving and supportive and wants to be there for you and hold space for you because they know what a special person you are. It's like, yeah, I'm just getting the sense that you're kind of showing up in this like angel energy for them, where they just feel like you're just such a gift. And yeah, it's okay to be vulnerable with them, because it's like they're really invested in keeping you around and in allowing this relationship to grow and for you to be part of their life. So Okay, well, that's beautiful. So we're gonna, last two things, we've got a Moonology card, and then I've got one of my Harry Potter meditation cards. So we're gonna start with your Moonology card. This is a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Yeah, so again, sorry, my throat's a little scratchy. A personal issue reaches resolution. Yeah, it's just, and the personal issue is very much, your kind of body, mind, spirit connection and integrating all those things. And, this personal issue is balancing those feelings and beliefs and, and thoughts between your physical reality and like your inner reality. And just and again, like with Cancer, it's about home, it's about emotions. Yeah, it's about you feeling safe in yourself, in your physical body, in your physical temple, and in your home environment with those close to you. And once again, you think of Cancer as the crab that is always, that has a shell, and you see this person doing kind of the same type of thing, hiding inside a shell. And it's, this card is telling you it's safe to come out of your shell with those you care about. And, you're going to be coming, when your level up is coming into this sense of safety within yourself and with your loved ones, and feeling safe to enjoy what you created, basically. That's really what it is, feeling safe to enjoy all the beautiful things that you created, and to know that you deserve them, and that they're not just going to go away tomorrow. Like, they're going to be there, they're in your life because you did the work to bring them into being, and you're meant to enjoy them. All right, so my last message is going to be from the Harry Potter Meditations deck. Even if you don't know anything about Harry Potter, it's still going to be applicable. So all the cards have themes. This one is resistance, so we'll see what the meditation is on the back. Okay. As I told you once before, Mr. Potter, naughty children deserve to be punished. Professor Umbridge, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Professor Umbridge is the nasty and ruthless professor of Defense Against the Dark Arts in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, though she is really a spy for the Ministry of Magic. Professor Umbridge delights in the power she has over students, subjecting those who defy her to terrible abuse. In a courageous act of resistance, Harry and his friends form Dumbledore's army to study Defense Against the Dark Arts on their own. Have you ever had to deal with an authority figure, a teacher, a boss, or parent who abused their authority like Professor Umbridge? What sort of acts of resistance did you take to handle the situation? Okay, now this is kind of interesting, especially considering that we got this Rebel card, which is challenging authority to effect social change. And again, this is a card of challenging authority. So it's like, I didn't get a whole lot of messages about exactly what this authority is that you were challenging. Although, if this was something that you were doing as a part of your kind of transformational journey, like, this is definitely a sign for you that this was divinely guided, and, this is meant to happen, and this is, part of your path. So that's definitely positive. But one thing I'm definitely called to here, naughty children deserve to be punished. And I think, again, part of this integration is like, there maybe still be a part of you believing that in some way you're not fully worthy for the things that worthy of the things that you've called into your life. Like I was talking about before, it's like when, the energy of like losing a lot of weight and not really being fully comfortable yet, and being able to kind of love or appreciate, your new body, and being proud of what you've achieved. And kind of the sense that, like, if the naughty children deserve to be punished, like kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like, well, I know I don't really deserve all this, and I'm just going to get punished anyway. It's all going to get taken away. And, that's definitely not true. Again, it's a little different than the authority figure message, but yeah, and I think, in terms of resistance, it's like your belief that you're inherently unworthy or naughty, or there's like a part of you that isn't that doesn't deserve to be seen, that doesn't deserve to be loved, that doesn't deserve the good things that you have. Like that's your resistance right now. And it's like breaking down this resistance, and really like being in the present. And I think, again, I feel like I haven't given like a good answer to this question yet, but I feel like before what I was saying with kind of the mindfulness and really, really watching your thoughts and really not believing everything you think, and really staying present with the good things that are going on in your life, and just feeling, integrating yourself with your daily pleasures, interacting with your significant other or loved ones, eating, exercising, whatever it is that you're doing, just really feeling into those and knowing that they're a part of you and they're for you and that you deserve them. So yeah, I think mindfulness is definitely part of the answer here. But at any rate, that's what I have for you, pile one. So thank you so much for watching this pick a card today. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like or a subscribe to see more of my upcoming content. If you're potentially interested in a personal reading, I have that link below in the description box, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Hey pile 2, so if you picked the Star Spinner Tarot, back of the deck looks like this. This is your reading about your next level up, what your guides and angels and ancestors or spiritual helpers are pushing you towards. So this is a really interesting energy. I kind of flipped over 4 cards for you from this deck, plus this is your back of the deck energy. And interestingly, we have the World as your back of the deck energy, which obviously is an awesome card, is an amazing card. This is a beautiful World card. And I really, with this, the World can be applied in a lot of different interpretations, but I'm really getting, in this case, I really am getting the sort of the vibe of travel. I'm hearing like the great wide world of, I'm hearing like see what else is out there, like sort of beyond your own backyard. Just this idea of wanting to be somewhere other than where you are. Maybe it's a specific place. Maybe there's a specific country you want to move to, a specific city or state or town, area, whatever the case may be. Or if, you just want to get away from where it is that you are. And, I feel like this is kind of supported by these 2 cards here, which, we've got the Hanged Man and the 3 of Wands. And normally, what's kind of interesting is that the 3 of Wands, so normally, it's weird, I'm almost getting like a 2 of Wands feel to this 3 of Wands. Normally the 3 of Wands is like a card of making plans. So the 2 of Wands is the card, it's like, it's like thinking, it's 2 of Wands is choosing a direction, 3 of Wands is making actual plans. But this 3 of Wands character is sort of like this little fairy elf person is behind these leaves. So I'm still feeling like he's making plans from kind of behind a barrier. And, maybe the plans, like there's still plans, there's still ideas, but they feel kind of preliminary and like potentially they don't feel quite like they're going anywhere. And again, we have the Hanged Man, which is, the Hanged Man doesn't always mean stagnancy. Usually it's a little more, I want to say spiritual. Like stagnancy feels kind of like where you're disconnected from spirit, but I am getting kind of like a stuck energy from this Hanged Man. Just that nothing has happened for a long time. You feel in sort of suspended animation. Nothing's really going anywhere. You don't feel like you've progressed recently. So it's like you feel kind of like this level up is long overdue, and you're kind of convinced that this level up is going to happen. It's only going to happen from you moving somewhere other than where you are. Or yeah, and I do really get a sense that it kind of is like a location thing. It's like, you feel like you need to move somewhere in order to take the next step on your journey. Maybe you're surrounded by people who don't understand you. Maybe you just don't like your location. Yeah, feeling kind of out of place and feeling like you need to move or go somewhere else in order to make things happen for you, or to take your real, like, sort of like fulfilling next steps. And I think what's interesting here is we've got this this Five of Pentacles card. And what I'm drawn to here is there's like this broken mirror and a little boy and this sort of queen figure. And so this deck represents a lot of different fairy tales, and I couldn't tell if it necessarily referenced this in the guidebook. But when you have this queen and the broken mirror, I don't know if anyone is familiar with the story, Hans Christian Andersen's story, The Snow Queen. And if I'm not mistaken, there's like shards of ice or mirror in that story that like there are two like a little boy character and a little girl character, and like the shards of ice or mirror get into one of their eyes, and it causes them to become like really kind of cold-hearted and nasty. Again, like I don't remember the exact particulars of the story. If you're interested, you can look it up. There may be some messages in there for you, but my main point is, like, I feel like this energy of being stuck and feeling a sort of sense of ennui and like dissatisfaction with where you are. I mean, it is almost like I almost want to say it's almost like a Four of Cups type of energy, but it's this real pessimism that's developed. And again, the Five of Pentacles is a card of lack. It's definitely seeing the glass. I mean, it can be. It can talk about literal material deprivation, but I mean, it's also a sort of lack mentality, and definitely seeing the glass half empty as opposed to half full, and seeing all the things that you don't have instead of the things that you do have, and seeing like the doors that are closed instead of trying to look for the doors that are open, like where you are right now. And so it's like, you feel really pessimistic and kind of grumpy and irritated every day, because it's like you feel like you're not where you should be or where you ought to be. Like you can never progress or advance like in your current location. Like everything just seems, it's like you're looking at everything through this sort of cracked mirror, right? It's like everything, and it's like I want to say your perspective is distorted almost, but like I feel like it's almost like you have to go through that process of seeing things that way in order to go through the level up or the change that you're about to go through. Because I don't know, like the most interesting thing here is we have the Hierophant, which, I'm getting this really strong energy of like some kind of almost like a fated type event that's coming up or happening for you. And for some of you, it may be like a really important teacher coming into your life. And I'm not even saying it has to be like a conventional teacher. It can be a very important relationship that shakes up, what, your understanding of yourself and the world. I mean, I'm feeling called, so my guides are actually calling me to just give a very short sort of personal story time. This energy right here that I'm sensing is very similar to the energy that I was in right before I met my twin flame, who has been like one of the most significant relationships of my life. And I would not have met him if I had, gone and moved to some major city, which is what I had wanted to do, several years ago. Right after, after I got out of college, I ended up moving back to like my hometown and staying there far longer than I wanted to. And I could only see I could only see the negative things about it, and you know how it was kind of too like locally for me, and like it wasn't, you know, it felt like I should be in like a more metropolitan area, like all, you know, the people my friends were, the people that I went to college with, and I was trying to make the best of it. But I felt kind of down about it, but the thing is, if I hadn't stayed there, like I would never have met him. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting, and of course, like, you know, his presence in my life, like I actually had my sort of main spiritual awakening as a result of meeting and getting to know him. Yeah, just this energy of like a fated event or some kind of teacher, like really important teacher, spiritual teacher coming into your life. So I'm gonna pull like 3 more cards, maybe to just get some more information about this event or teacher, or just like kind of more information about this level up that's coming, or, you know, what you can do to look out for that. I find the one that wants to come out. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so got the Sun. It's encouraging. The 3 of Pentacles and the Moon. Huh. Wow. The Sun, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Moon. So again, like the first thing that I want to, you know, the first thing calling out to me is the Sun versus the Moon. I mean, that's, you know, masculine versus feminine energy. So, you know, this could be a significant soulmate connection, or even a twin flame connection where one is embodying the masculine and one is embodying the feminine. Yeah, it's like it's almost like they keep showing me that point in my life when I met him, because it's like here with the 3 of Coins, it's like I'm hearing, and this is something that I think all the time, it's like you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find that you get what you need. So it's like, yeah, it's like I'm almost seeing you, it's like you've dreamed of meeting this person, or like attracting this particular type of like this like really amazing, incredible soul connection, and it's like you have this dream, and they're gonna, like, the soul connection is gonna show up, but maybe not exactly, they won't be like the exact type of person you imagined, or something like that. It's like there's a person or a thing or an event, there's like something coming into your life that's gonna help you, create and attract exactly what you, or like it's going to help you create exactly what you want, and it's going to help you achieve this level up that you need to achieve in order to create the life you want, and in order to kind of step into your true path. But like it's not going to appear in the form that you might have logically thought. It's like there's no way to predict exactly how it's going to happen, or what this person or thing is going to look like. Yeah, it's just like, you know, we have this like sort of genie with like 3 wishes. Yeah, it's like your wishes are coming true. Like you're ultimately going to get what it is that you want. But you, like, the way that you get there isn't going to be the way you would think that you would get there. You know, it's like we've got the Moon. The Moon just could be the unknown, intuition, intuitive gifts. And the Sun, again, happiness, positivity, like really good things coming in for you. Like ultimate, like a happy ending, like, yeah, really positive things. But like it's like you're being blocked from going the path that you think that you want, you know, with this five of coins, whatever it is that you're not getting by moving location. It's like, yeah, basically there's like a reason why you are where you are right now. And I think that's like why they're showing me that kind of story from my life. It's like there's a reason why you are where you are right now. And, you know, you might be kind of unhappy about it and seeing the glass half empty, but like once you meet this person, like this person who's going to be a huge spiritual teacher in your life, or, again, for some of you, it may be an event or opportunity, like you're going to realize why things happen this way. And again, you're going to get what you want eventually, like whatever it is that you feel blocked from by the fact that you haven't like moved anywhere, or you haven't gotten to the location that you want to be, like whatever it is that you feel blocked from, you're going to get it. But it's not going to come the way that you expect. And it may be like a bit of a, like sort of, a little bit of a process or a road until you get there. Because the 3 is, it's in terms of like the progression of the Pentacles suit, you have the Ace, the 2, and then the 3. So that's pretty early on the journey. But yeah, that's what I'm called to tell you right now. All right, so we're going to move on to your oracles now. Starting out with, these Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracles, so we'll take a look at those first. You have rhodochrosite and purpurite. So interesting, we've got a 44 and a 45, so that's like a progression there. It's a direct level up. Again, 44 is a number of, that's for a lot of people, that's an angel number. It's just a signal that your angels and guides are nearby supporting you. This is like a highly guided situation. 44 reduces to an 8. Any of those numbers may be significant to you. 8 is associated with Scorpio, which is transformation, 8th house. 45, again, that number may be significant to you. That reduces to a 9, which it actually is expansion, spiritual study, and travel, which is interesting because it's almost like they're saying like there's going to be a huge spiritual expansion for you, but you don't necessarily have to leave your physical environment for that to happen. So at any rate, I'm going to take a look at these in the book because I don't have all of these memorized. All right, so 44 purpurite. Yeah. The curse, so purpurite is the curse clearer. Extremely effective for psychic and aura protection, purpurite grounds high frequency energy, harmonizing the physical body to the new vibration. It helps you to break away from self-destructive or self-limiting behavior. Energizing the physical and mental bodies, it overcomes tiredness, apathy, and despondency. So yeah, tiredness, apathy, and despondency is definitely something that you're dealing with right now, I'm sensing. So, there's on a spiritual level, I think, like guides, angels, helpers are working to help you break through this energy, and whatever's coming up is definitely going to help you break through this energy. Be open to new ways to heal. The past creates the present, but the past can be repaired and the present healed. And again, it's just another idea of being a lineage breaker. So, I think, it may also be possible, if you're in an area that's kind of, maybe if like you've moved back in with your family or whatever, you're kind of in, your hometown that you didn't want to be staying in or whatever it is. You could be there in part because you are helping to heal some of those energies like in that place, and break those ancestral patterns that are negative, that are holding you back, that are possibly holding other members of your family back. But beyond that, I really sense that with this, this event or teacher that's coming into your life, it's going to represent some like really deep transformation and healing for you. I'm just really getting that it's whatever's coming up is very transformational and is going to help you break through like some really deep-seated limiting beliefs, patterns, and stuff that like really like, it's like you need something else to kind of be a catalyst to help you get rid of, essentially. It's something that you kind of have to grow through, something that it's like almost like this person or whoever it is going to like trigger you in ways that help you heal this. And like, again, like this is ultimately like for sure a positive thing. This is an important yeah, just keep being like an important spiritual teacher in your life. Yeah, it could show up in different ways for different people, but definitely something that's helping you heal on a very deep level. And this rhodochrosite. So I've seen this one before. It has to do with unconditional love, actually, I believe, but I'll just look at the book again just to make sure I'm not missing any messages. Yeah, teaches the heart to assimilate painful feelings without shutting down. Yeah, anything that's like shut down your heart chakra. I mean, this book is saying, yeah, deep down you feel alienated, unloved, or unappreciated. Yeah, anything that's like blocking your heart chakra right now, whether that be your regular heart chakra or your higher heart chakra. I mean, I'm always called to say that with this card because of the pink, which is resonating with that higher heart chakra. And I think, yeah, again, begin to see the gifts in your experiences rather than seeing the negative effects. I mean, I think that's a really big message. Like, begin, once you have this experience, you meet this person, you're really going to see the gift in this experience that you were really, you were really kind of down on before, and really not seeing the beauty in the fact that you felt, quote unquote, stuck in a certain location and not learning to kind of, or you haven't been sort of trusting your path and believing that, you are where you are for a reason, and you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. Yeah, and I mean the fact that this is the heart reviver, and we're talking about compassionate love and forgiveness, this could very well be a soulmate or soul connection that's coming in. So that's definitely one potential signal of that. So yeah, could be a soulmate that's coming in, could be like a romantic partnership. Again, it doesn't have to be, it could just be some kind of platonic connection that really opens your heart. But yeah, definitely like a relationship or some kind of like teacher in some way is kind of highlighted again by this rhodochrosite. So let's move forward with your archetype cards. So we're just gonna kind of look at these, and I'm gonna talk about what I'm called to, light or shadow, depending on what I see here. So we've got storyteller and fool. Interesting. Yeah, with storyteller, I think, again, this seems pretty obvious to me. I mean, it's just this idea, and again, I know this because I've done the same thing many, many times. It's where, you've been telling yourself a negative story about why you're stuck, right? Or, I mean, yeah, making up tales that harm others, like you potentially making up tales that harm yourself. And it's like being able to realize that I think on a certain level you could feel very guilty and feel very angry at yourself for getting stuck, and for feeling like you're not where you want to be in life. You're not in the right location, or you haven't achieved whatever it is that you feel like you haven't been able to achieve. And it's learning to take ownership of that story again and realize that things happen for a reason. We are where we are at specific times because of divine order and the divine plan. And it's learning to tell a more empowering story about your life and your life experience, because I just think that telling these negative stories has really got you down, and pretty soon you're gonna see that like there was no need for the negative stories, right? Like everything was happening according to plan and according to divine order, and what needs to happen in your life so that you can be the absolute best version of yourself. So yeah, it's like taking a step back and really watching what stories watching your thoughts and watching what stories you're telling yourself, and being very mindful and conscious of whether those stories empower you or whether they disempower you, make you feel heavy or light, because I think we create, certainly in some ways, from we definitely consciously create from the stories that we tell ourselves. So learning to tell yourself a more positive story is a big part of the lesson here. And then fool. Yeah, fearlessly revealing emotion. Yeah, so the light attribute is fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Shadow attributes, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. And yeah, I think, again, I feel like it's almost like a very similar message where I'm just getting this real self-deprecating energy here, which is definitely something that I've done, you know, when I felt bad about myself or, you know, where I was in life. Yeah, it's like I get the sense that I'm just like really feeling and hearing that you like make these like really negative self-deprecating jokes about yourself to your friends and family to hide the fact that you feel so ashamed and angry at yourself. And again, that's more about like telling this disempowering negative story that, I mean, to be honest, that you're about to break out of in a big way. And denial of your emotional truth. I mean, this is interesting because, I mean, I think it's like, even though, obviously, because you're being self-deprecating, you know that, you know, you're not, like, you feel less than and you feel like you're not where you want to be, but it's almost like, it's like, what drive or what need are you denying in yourself, like, that you need to kind of seek, I guess. It's like, I feel like I'm not explaining this super well, but it's almost like, you know, with this three of Pentacles, this sort of this card of this genie, it's like, what do you really want to create in your life, and what's preventing you from creating that, I guess. It's kind of like, almost like, yeah, it's like I'm hearing, it's like this idea that you need to be somewhere else in order to like be your fullest self, or in order to create the life that you want to create or progress in your life. It's almost like it's an excuse. It's like, well, you know, I can't do X, Y, and Z because I'm not living in this city, or I'm not living in this state or this country or whatever. And yeah, it's like I'm hearing that that's, in some ways, that's, you know, and it may not even be something that you're conscious of doing, but it's just that, like, well, why are you telling yourself that story? Why is that the case? You know, is there a workaround there? Is there something else you could do? Like, what are your true needs, like, from on an emotional level? What are your true wants and needs, and what are you trying to create in the world, you know? And it's like, are you holding yourself back in a way because you're afraid of failure? Could that potentially be something that you're, you know, is that a way that you yourself are kind of maybe keeping yourself stuck? I mean, I don't know. These are just things I'm hearing. These are just questions to kind of contemplate. But yeah, those are just kind of questions that Spirit is putting on my heart to kind of convey if you want to contemplate them. All right, so that's that. And the last couple things we're going to do, so I have a Monology card, and then I've got a Harry Potter Meditations card. We'll do that last. So your Monology card is, it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. So this is so funny because I feel like this card came up in like the exact same sense in one of the last pick a card readings I did. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the Hierophant, I'm really getting the strong energy that this is like a powerful soulmate that's coming into your life. And then one of the meanings that the book gives for this card, New Moon in Aries, you know, aside from obviously it's time to take action, and Aries being the sign of, you know, taking action, taking initiative, one of the meanings the book gives is like a new male is coming into your life. So, you know, potentially if you are a female, or if you're a divine feminine, potentially there's a divine masculine coming into your life that's really gonna shake things up and be like a really important teacher for you. I think maybe this is a message for some of you. Like if that's the case for you, again, this is maybe the strongest message that I was getting, but again, this Hierophant is going to be different things for different people. But yeah, definitely, like if you're feeling that you're resonating, very well could be that, you know, a new like masculine is coming into your life, and that's kind of the deal with this Hierophant, and maybe the deal with this kind of this rhodochrosite like love energy. So interesting, very exciting. So All right, so the Harry Potter meditation card that I have for you, and once again, I like Harry Potter. I think these are fun, but if you don't like Harry Potter, we'll still get info out of this. But so your theme, all the cards have a theme. Your theme is values and beliefs. So let's see what it says. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I love it when cards just like take the words out of my mouth. And like this is one of my favorite concepts in Harry Potter. So this is going to be fun. We're going to read about this. So the Mirror of Erised is a gilt-edged full-length mirror inscribed with the legend Erised stra eru oit ube kafru oit on wazi. Again, they're all backwards words, so they're not really meant to be. It doesn't sound right. Anyway, discovered by Harry in an unused classroom in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, it shows the viewer, in Professor Dumbledore's words, the deepest and most desperate desires of our hearts. Imagine you had the opportunity to look into the mirror of Erised. What would you see, and what do you think it says about your deepest desires? Whew, okay, so again, what was I saying here? This is a little boy making a wish with a genie. What do you really want? What are the deepest desires of your heart? And how do you feel you're being kept from those desires right now? And again, like I said, you may not always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find that you get the person you need. You might not get the person you think you ask for, but you get the person or the situation that you need in order to truly fulfill you and truly be the person that your higher self and that your spirit team knows you can be. So that is a beautiful message. I'm going to leave you with that, pile 2. Again, if you enjoyed this reading, please hit the like button, give me a subscribe to see more of my content coming up. If you enjoy these readings and you feel called to seek a personal reading from me, I'm going to leave that link in the description box, and I hope to see you on another video soon. Hey pile 3, so if you chose our tarot, which is the deck of tarot cards with this gold back, this is going to be your reading about what you need to do to level up next, or what that's going to look like for you. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. I mean, first of all, it's an interesting deck because every single one of the cards is represented by a different woman from history, a different historical woman. Your overall energy is the 5 of Swords, Carrie Nation, who, if I'm not mistaken, was like involved, I think maybe in like the United States temperance movement, which is the movement to outlaw alcohol, I think. I could be wrong on that. I mean, I could look in the book really fast, but yeah, I'm not going to do that right this sec because I'm kind of absorbed in reading the story here. But yeah, what I'm getting from this is that, so the 5 of Swords is a card, like for me, how I usually read it or how it kind of shows up for me is a card of like winners and losers, right? It's a card where like, if you think about like the Justice card, or a card that sort of denotes balance, you think of like a win-win situation, and the 5 of Swords is a situation where there's a clear winner and a clear loser. And what I find interesting here is that we've got the 2 of Swords as well. So I'm really feeling like maybe there's some kind of a decision that needs to happen, and I'm getting that you feel pressure to make the decision, but like I'm hearing that if you make the decision too soon, it's like you're gonna miss out on something. And I'm hearing almost that like it might be a decision to go back to school, because we have the Hierophant here. The decision to go back to school, or to like undertake potentially, like I'm hearing like go back to school, like, or like potentially like a conventional career path. Like I'm hearing like doctor, lawyer, yeah, again, grad school seems to be popping up for me. Yeah, the Hierophant is always, it's about schools, institutions. Yeah, getting involved with some kind of institutional body of knowledge here. But we also have the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Swords. And what I'm almost hearing, it's like they're saying don't make this decision yet, or don't jump into whatever this is, because they're saying there's gonna be some kind of event coming up. I'm hearing within the next 3 months or so. Within the next few months, the next 90 days, several weeks, that's gonna change things about this situation. Yeah, and it's again, it's an outside event. It's some kind of I hate to overuse this term, but fated event. The Wheel of Fortune, it's some kind of, yeah, something changing in your external environment that opens up a new set of possibilities is kind of what I'm hearing, or just changes the playing field, or changes the set of considerations that you would be looking at when making this decision. And it's gonna make the decision easier, and it's going to it might change your decision, but whatever it is, it's going to it's going to lead to a more favorable outcome for you and for everyone involved if you wait for whatever this thing is to kind of fall into place. Again, this is kind of a convoluted explanation, but this is just what I'm hearing. And it's almost yeah, it's I get that you feel kind of pressured a little bit. And it's you could make the decision. You could say okay, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to go here, I'm going to move here, I'm going to, go to this program. I'm going to undertake whatever this Hierophant is. And again, I'm hearing it's some kind of conventional job or program of study. Feels very structured, feels very sort of institutionalized. And again, I'm not saying that any of that stuff is bad at all, because it definitely has its place, but it's you feel almost kind of pressured to jump into it. And it could even be something that it's maybe even something that you're applying. Maybe it's even you're applying to this thing and you're thinking about, I'm just going to send in my application. But it's they're saying, it's you feel a lot of pressure to just do it, but part of you is resisting, because again, Two of Swords is the inability to make a decision. It's being caught between two options. It's feeling a little bit, yes, I don't know if stuck is even the right word. It's just being kind of in that perfect sort of balancing place between falling to one side or the other. And it's I know there's a little intuitive nudge within you that says don't do this yet, don't make this decision yet, even though there are people in your environment, or sort of the vibe or the circumstances around you are just do it, make the decision, why are you holding back? And part of me is no, I'm gonna wait on this. And your guys are saying your intuition to wait is the right thing to do, because this Four of Swords, it's take a rest, take some time out. They're saying get some perspective, get some distance on the situation, just take a rest. They're just saying bide your time, just kind of bide your time here, because there's something coming in. There are definitely positive things ahead, super positive things in your future, but they're just saying something else needs to fall into place before you can take this action, whatever it is. Or it's it's going to affect the way you take this action, or like the options you have around it, something like that. This is very vague, I know, but it's a very like it's just a strange energy. And I apologize if that doesn't resonate for some of you. It is kind of specific. Yeah, they're just saying like, wait, you know, don't like, it's like, again, this card, one of the main imagery objects on this card is the hatchet, and it's like, don't let the hatchet fall, kind of. Yeah, don't be hasty. So I'm gonna pull 3 more cards to get some more information potentially about maybe what this thing is with the Wheel of Fortune. Just some more information about this situation, because again, like I said, it does seem a little, it's like very strange energy. So I'm gonna get some more information potentially on what's coming up, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull 3 more cards. Oh, alright, so yeah, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, and 4 of Cups. Before I do anything, I'm feeling called to look at the book for the 4 of Pentacles card, because this tarot deck is like really amazing. The book is beautiful and very thorough, and it has like biographies and everything for all of these women. So I feel called to look at the book for 4 of Pentacles, because I almost feel like I've looked at this before, and it's like slightly different from the typical meaning. Okay. Yeah, control, pragmatism, careful planning, and they always have interesting questions at the end too. Yeah, okay. What are you holding on to too tightly? What would happen if you let go and explored other options? And I think, yeah, I'm just here, yeah, explored other options. I feel like that's kind of what I was supposed to get from that. You know, what are you holding on to too tightly? Yeah, so I'm hearing that, like, if this Hierophant thing, whatever this is, if this is like a program of study, a career opportunity, some kind of structured something or other, some kind of structured or very well established something or other. Yeah, it's almost like that's not the best option for you, or kind of like, and yeah, with this 4 of Cups card, it's like I'm seeing this hallway or this pathway here with these cups, and it's almost like they're warning you. It's like, if you jump into this right now, like if you say like, oh, I'm just gonna do it because it feels like, yeah, I should be doing it. If you go like a little further down the road, you're not gonna be as happy as you could be, is kind of what they're saying. And again, with this 10 of Swords, yeah, I'm hearing it's like you need to let go of, or sort of end the idea that this thing is like what you have to do. Because I'm feeling it's like, I don't think this is something that you're doing because like someone is forcing you to do it, or because you really don't like it, I don't get that you really don't like it, or that you feel resigned to it, or that you're not at all passionate about it. It's just like, I also like, but I do get this like small kind of inkling of a sense that it's like it seems like a good thing, but it's like, it's kind of good enough. It's like the good enough option, kind of. It's like, well, yeah, this feels sort of logical. This feels like, you know, kind of what I should be doing. Like I could probably be happy doing this. Like, yeah, like I could make this work for me. That's kind of what I'm hearing. yeah, it's like, it's definitely not a terrible option. And, you probably could be good at whatever it is, but is it your purpose in life? Like, does it really light you up? Like, probably not. Like, and that's kind of what they're saying is like, even if you don't totally realize that now, it's the type of thing where you would go down the road like a few years with this and you'd be like, this isn't really making me happy, with this Four of Cups. Like, I just remember reading a little bit about Gladys Bentley, who is someone that I didn't know anything about before, but I mean, she's someone who I think, she's wearing kind of this like pantsuit outfit with the tails. It's like she wasn't happy when she wasn't expressing her true self, right? Because before she was like, I guess, dressed in a more feminine manner. Before she became a performer, she would dress in like a more feminine manner. She felt kind of like she had to conform to conventional norms, and that wasn't really her. And so it's kind of like, well, this thing, it may seem like a good idea now, but it's just like a kind of like a good enough idea. And like once you have a little bit more living under your belt and you know yourself a little better, you're gonna realize that like, it's not really you. Like if you made this choice right now, like if you just jumped into it right now, you'd be like, well, this isn't really me. And so ultimately what your guides are trying to do is to like save you some grief. They're trying to save you some trouble. Yeah, and just kind of end or like let go of this idea of like kind of this Four of Pentacles. It's like this kind of like preconceived notion or like rigid idea of what you need to be doing or what you should be doing, and whether that's an idea you kind of developed yourself or an idea that somebody kind of may have thrust upon you when you were younger, or just an idea, or even something that you thought you were going to do when you were younger. Like you decided like, oh, I'm going to do this, and it just became this thing that you were like sort of stuck on, and you're like, well, this is what I have to do, this is my childhood dream. Like it could even be that it's like, oh, well, like this is what I decided I was going to do when I was like 9 years old, and this has always been my dream, and like this is what I'm going to do. And like maybe you don't even realize that you've evolved, you're evolving in a different direction, and that isn't even like appropriate for you to be doing anymore, especially if it's something fairly, something fairly typical, like being a doctor or a lawyer, whatever that is. Again, no offense to doctors or lawyers, that obviously is the true path for a great many people. But it may not be your path. Again, I don't know what this is. If this reading is resonating with you, you definitely will know what it is. But yeah, and then again, with this Wheel of Fortune card, it's like I didn't get a lot of information about exactly what it is, but it's almost like you're going to be, something is going to happen where a new possibility is going to become available to you, or you're going to become aware of a new possibility for your life and for your direction. And they're saying that if you make this choice now and jump into whatever this thing is, like you're going to miss this possibility right now, or you have the potential to miss it. And then you'd be going down a road where like you're kind of discovering that this Hierophant thing isn't quite right for you. So they're saying, yeah, if you just hang on, if you just sort of like hold your horses for a little bit, you might save yourself some trouble, essentially. Okay, so now we have some oracle cards we're gonna look at. I'm gonna bring through first these crystalism healing oracles to see what we've got here. We've got Carnelian and Brandenburg Amethyst. So Carnelian, that's a number 7 card. Yeah, so number 7 is kind of, it's like the number of spiritual study, well, 9 can be that too as well, but like, again, spiritual advancement, spiritual awakening, I think resonates with 7. Yeah, it's the house of partnerships. Libra is associated with the 7th house, so any of those things may resonate with you, or maybe you have Libra in your chart. So I will go ahead and take a look at what Carnelian is in the book, because I don't know these off the top of my head. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it when this happens. So Carnelian protects against glamours, which are spells, envy, and the evil eye, bringing good fortune to the wearer. It prevents blood from rushing to the head to cause precipitate action. So essentially what that means is it prevents you from making hasty choices. So yeah, you have the ability to remain calm during disputes and the self-control not to follow the crowd. Yeah, be eloquent, creative, and bold. Do not back down. Trust your intuitive perceptions. Distinction in your career lies ahead. Yeah, definitely, but it may not be doing the thing that you have always thought you were going to do. And yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what I've been saying. I mean, it's just another confirmation that like it's preventing you from taking premature action. So carnelian may be a stone you want to work with, but the soul path is expressing soul vitality. So whatever this thing is that's coming in for you, that's going to take you in like a different direction, is going to help you express your soul's vitality and your passion and purpose, and it's going to make you very happy and fulfilled. So that's definitely a very positive message to be coming through. And this Brandenburg amethyst, so 38, again, that number may be significant. That reduces to an 11, which is, it's a master number, another number of spiritual awakening and kind of activation. So that's definitely also significant. Brandenburg amethyst, I'm pretty sure this talks about like blueprints and your soul plan, but I'm going to double check. Yeah, the perfect blueprint. So, a master healer, the Brandenburg amethyst, holds the perfect blueprint of your soul and all that is. It heals physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, karmic, planetary, and ancestral auric layers and imprints the most perfect energetic pattern possible. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's just, I think this is really just saying that like there's a more perfect plan available for you than whatever it was you were considering doing. And that, to the extent that there's a redirection, it's divinely guided, like there is a plan for you and you just kind of need to trust in that. For sure. Just trusting in the divine plan and trusting in the twists and turns of your life and knowing that you are exactly where you need to be and you're being guided to exactly where you need to be and guided to your highest good. Okay, that's great. So we're going to look into your archetypes now. I've pulled 2 archetypes. We'll just kind of talk about the light and shadow as I feel guided. Teacher, interesting. And destroyer. Wow. Okay. So this is this is super interesting. I mean, with the Hierophant is definitely a card that talks about being a teacher, being a spiritual teacher, especially, and it's again teaching in a very kind of conventional setting, usually like an institutional setting. Again, not always, but yeah, the Hierophant, and especially with this card being associated with Catherine of Aragon. I don't know if any of you know who she is, but she was the first wife of Henry VIII, actually, and she was Spanish, she's Catholic, she's deeply religious, and just very, very deeply committed to this kind of like institutional version of religion. So she just was, very, I don't know that conventional is that way is the right word, but it kind of is, but kind of, she just was very committed to this traditional and sort of institutional version of spirituality. But with teacher, again, I'm kind of getting at whatever it is that you're this thing that you're doing. Sorry, I feel like I'm having this all over the place. It's possible that this thing, like whatever it is that you're going into, it's like your real path isn't far off. That's what I'm hearing. Like your real path isn't far off, but like it may take a slightly different form than you had expected. It's like, you're possibly still going to be a teacher, or you're still going to express some of the same gifts that you would have expressed in this path, but just like in a different way, or perhaps in a way that's like more connected with your spirituality or your creativity. That's what I'm getting. It's like it's still some of the same gifts and some of the same talents and passions. Like this isn't like a horrible option for you, but it's like there's like a way that's more connected, like with your soul truth, is kind of what they're saying. And I think that's what this teacher card is coming out to communicate. Yeah, for sure. And then this destroyer. Yeah, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. And yeah, that's, again, pretty straightforward. It's like you have to let something go. You have to kind of, I don't want to say destroy. Destroy seems like such a strong word, but you have to let certain structures crumble in your life in order to make room for new ones. And again, we have this 10 of Swords card here, which is very, very similar energy. You have to close the door on one path, which may come, I'm not going to lie, may come with a bit of grief, a bit of like mourning for what you thought was your life was going to be. There may be people in your life who are, like I said, like I felt a little bit of pressure with this 5 of Swords, like people telling you to take this path, pressuring you, like you need to make this choice, you need to go in this direction. And like, again, it may mean disappointing them. It may mean kind of changing their idea of like who you are, or like what kind of person you're going to be in this life, or your career role, or whatever the case may be. That it might mean changing people's perceptions of you, but ultimately, like, the new life that comes in after that is going to be really positive. It's going to be a level up. Like I said, it's going to be like a level up and a new sort of like evolved way to express these gifts and this wisdom. Okay, so our last couple things that we have a Moonology card, and then I'll pull through our Harry Potter wisdom oracle, or whatever that deck is called. I forget, honestly. But yeah, anyhow, so we've got Moonology. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. Okay, so again, we have a new moon, which corresponds with this new life. This is a new beginning for you, or there's hopefully there's going to be a new beginning if you just kind of take a rest and allow nature, or allow your divine blueprint to take its course. And yeah, they're just saying, like, be optimistic. And like I said, I think whatever this is, this like new way of expressing your gifts, is going to probably be more creative. It's going to be a little more joyful, a little more like fun, kind of. And I'm also called to like notice the correlation between, again, teacher. Think of a school teacher. Leo is also the house of children. So whatever you're doing, again, may be related to children. And maybe it's just like, it could be expressing qualities of your inner child while also being a teacher. Yeah, it's like something, whatever it is, that connects with this more childlike energy, or like a different or more authentic way of connecting with children. Yeah, there's something potentially about children here. Yeah, and just being happy, being confident, knowing that it's gonna work out. I'm again, they're showing me like the sun card. It's like, I think they also like they want this to serve as like another, like a sun card. It's like they're saying it's all gonna be okay, it's all gonna work out. Yeah, it's good. So be confident, be positive, be optimistic, even in the face of like making a big change, or potentially having to disappoint people, or tell people about this big change, this new direction. Like, you're doing you, and you're doing the right thing. It's like, absolutely be convicted in the fact that you're doing the right thing. So there is that. And then we've got your Harry Potter wisdom meditation card. And even if you don't like Harry Potter, we'll still be able to get some important messages from this. All of them have been like really related to the overall messages so far, so I'm excited to see what yours says. So your topic is personal growth. All of the cards have a different topic. So let's see what your meditation is. It does not do to dwell on dreams, Harry, and forget to live. Professor Dumbledore, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. There's nothing wrong with a little daydreaming, but it's important not to get so caught up in dreams that you forget to enjoy your life. Today, leave the daydreams behind and go outside. Visit a new place, meet up with friends, or simply take a walk. Explore the world a little and see what adventures it brings you. Yeah, so I really think that this is like related to this Wheel of Fortune here. So they're saying that, you know, while you're kind of like while you decide that you're not going to make this decision right now, if that's you feel aligned with that, if you're not going to jump into this thing that you had planned on doing, you know, while you're kind of in this Four of Swords energy of just kind of watching and waiting and taking a breather, and just, you know, again, I feel like you're supposed to kind of be enjoying your life and being at peace while this is happening. They're saying that, like, you know, explore the world a little and see what adventures it brings you. Like, when you get outside your routine and, like, when you do something different, like meet somebody new or, like, have a new experience or just go to an event that someone invites you to, like, kind of get outside your house a little bit. Again, it's funny because the Four of Swords energy isn't so much, it's kind of, you feel like it's a hermit energy, but here I really think that they're saying that, like, when you when you enjoy your life and get outside and just stay open to possibilities wherever it is that you go, you know, you accept invitations, you continue to be social, like that's when you're going to run into this Wheel of Fortune event. Like, you know, if you go to like a new and different seminar that you might not have considered going to before, or you know, you have like a fortuitous conversation and you meet someone who's going to give you like an opportunity to do something new, or yeah, it's like, it's one of those, like, again, one of those like synchronistic events. Again, the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about that synchronistic event. And they're saying that, like, you know, when you're getting outside your typical routine and living your life and staying open to whatever life brings you, like that's when, you know, destiny is going to take its course, for lack of a better word. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. That's pretty important. Very interesting reading. Okay. All right, pile 3. So I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope that resonated. If you did like it, please feel free to give me a like or subscribe to stay updated on my new content as it comes out. If you really like this reading, and, you know, as you continue to watch my readings, if you feel called to seek a personal reading from me, I will have that link in the description box. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Hey, pile 4. So if you chose this tarot deck, which is the Housewives Tarot, with a checked back, this will be a reading about your next level up. So it's looking at this pile, or this sort of group of cards, and I, by the way, I pulled 4 cards for you, and then took your back of the deck energy. Just looking at this set of cards, I mean, it's kind of funny that you chose the Housewife Tarot, because I am almost getting like a serious like housewife energy from this. I'm not saying that like all of you are necessarily housewives, but like I am getting a real energy of like daily responsibilities, kind of like being bogged down in daily responsibilities. And the reason why I say that is because, look, we've got, so your overall energy is the 7 of Wands, which talks about, yeah, I mean, like in any other deck, it talks about kind of like fighting your way to the top. Yeah, constantly feeling like you're fighting a battle, being always kind of on your guard, always on edge, always kind of waiting for the next thing to come around. And then you've got the 5 of Wands, which has this poor lady trying to contend with like dusting all of these appliances, you know, keeping everything clean, staying on top of things, you know, keeping all of her responsibilities in order. I'm hearing whack-a-mole, so it's like, you know, it's like you manage to put out one fire and then another one pops up, and it's just like one thing after the other, and it just feels a little overwhelming. Yeah, it's just like overwhelm of daily responsibilities, kind of, is the energy that I'm getting from this. And then what's interesting here, though, is like you've got the 3 of Wands, which in this deck is a card of accomplishment. It's like almost like you've you've cleaned the house, or you've accomplished you've accomplished a big task, like the energy of like, oh, I finished cleaning out the garage, or whatever it is that you've done. You feel like you've gotten to a certain level in your to-do list, or your like set of accomplishments, or whatever it is that that you need to do. And then you get this Page of Swords, which is, this little boy running through the house with scissors and getting dirty hands all over the wall or the blinds or whatever that is. And it's like the energy of like, you feel like you've cleaned everything up, or you've managed to accomplish a certain like important thing, or it's like, you feel like you've got things settled, and then someone else in your life, whether it's like it is an actual kid, or I'm almost getting, it's like almost maybe even like an immature romantic partner. I don't know. It's someone kind of immature, whether they're like literally a child or just immature person, or people in your life. It's like they tromp through with mud on their feet, and they like mess everything up again so that you never get any peace. Yeah, it's like if it's not one thing, it's another. And like even when you manage to get on top of your responsibilities and your to-do list and all the things that you want to accomplish, other people come through and cause drama and make a mess for you. And then like you're cleaning up their messes too. And I'm sorry to hear that, because that's a huge bummer. That's never any fun to deal with, and it's not fair to you. And it's, and I'm hearing like Sisyphus, kind of like, if you've ever heard that myth about like I don't even know if it's like Greek or Roman, or like the man who's like doomed to push a rock up a hill for all of eternity, and like the rock can never get to the top of the hill, or like like the word Sisyphean, where that comes from. And with the Seven of Wands energy, because you feel you can never catch a break, it's like you're constantly defensive, and you've gotten into this like kind of like, I'm hearing like battle hardened or like battle worn energy, where you're just always on guard, and you feel like you can never let anybody in, and like you have to do everything yourself, and like you just feel like let down by everybody. Like you can't trust anyone because there's so much that you have to do. But then the moment you feel like you can get a rest, it's like there's someone else's issues you have to deal with. And so it's like you just don't, like there's no one who, like you feel like there's no one who's genuinely there to make your life easier or to make your life pleasant. And that's kind of what I'm getting from your energy. But then what's interesting though is we do finally have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups, it's a new beginning of like refreshment and fulfillment and peace. A lot of times it's a breath of fresh air. It's like fresh energy, and I don't know what that energy is. It's like the energy, like it's what I'm kind of sensing. Like I don't even know if this is really your situation, but like maybe this is a little too literal. But it's almost like, if you're a single mom that and you've been raising your kids on your own for like several years now, and kind of doing it all on your own, running the household, maybe even like obviously working and taking care of the kids. And it's like you meet, and with the Ace of Cups can also mean new love. It's like you meet someone who is really going to be there for you, and eventually will even become an important and loving figure for your kids, and just finally give you a sense of relief and a sense that you're supported and cared for and loved. And if that's literally your situation, like, because that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. But it's like, it's almost like, it's like something comes in to offer you relief is kind of how I'm feeling. And and I don't know what that something is. And I think like when I get a couple more tarot cards, I'm going to ask like, what is this Ace of Cups? Like, what are we dealing with here? Like, and again, it's a level up for you, because you're able to receive some kind of relief, or create some kind of relief for yourself. I just kind of want to, I'm curious what that is. So I'm going to ask, get a few more cards to talk about what this level up or what this Ace of Cups energy is. So please, Spirit, if you could figure out what this Ace of Cups energy is. All right. Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands, it's interesting. This card, the Two of Wands in this deck is a little different from the Two of Wands in a lot of other decks. I mean, here we have this poor lady who just looks exhausted. She's got like dirt on her face. And for some odd reason, it looks like she's got like two pairs of hands. And they're crossing these like mops or brooms. And like, I'm hearing the phrase, I've had enough. And it's like you saying that you've had enough of this situation. Whatever it is, you're putting up some kind of boundary. It's like with this Ace of Cups, with this renewal, it starts with you like admitting to yourself and admitting to other people that you've had enough. And then you've got this Eight of Swords, which always talks about feeling stuck or trapped, but it's because of your own, sorry, these are not in frame. There's something to do with your own mental constructs and beliefs, or like limiting beliefs, like negative thought patterns. But yeah, this sense of being trapped, and then the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, what I'm really getting from this is that, like, there are ways that, like, the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, the Seven of Pentacles is always like seeds that you've planted. It's something pre-existing. It's like you've refused to admit to yourself that there are ways that you can make your life easier. Or that you can, it's like almost getting out of this energy where, yeah, like I said before, like you feel like you have to do it all. Like I'm getting a sense that it's possible to delegate and possible to make your life easier for yourself. Like I'm just hearing the words pre-existing solutions. Like there are opportunities in your environment to delegate or to yeah, it's like there are opportunities or resources that are already available to you that you can use to make your life easier. But it's almost like it's almost like this kind of, like I feel like martyr is almost too strong a word, but it's like you've gotten stuck in this energy of like I have to do it myself. I need to yeah, it's just like feeling, it's like almost like you felt alone for so long that like you're determined to feel alone. It's kind of like you're just like gotten really stubborn in your exhaustion. Like I don't know how to put it. It's like there are ways that you can, and it's almost sometimes it's like almost like being vulnerable and asking for help. It's like there are ways to sort of spread out the labor. Like there are people in your environment or resources in your environment that you can use to make life easier for yourself, but either you haven't realized that they're there to take advantage of them, or you're very like determined to remain caught in the idea that you are on your own and you're all alone and you're in this by yourself, and like you need to do it all by yourself, and like yeah, that's kind of, and like the moment that you put up these boundaries and decide like this can't continue, like I've had enough, like I'm not doing things this way anymore, and you examine these thought patterns and get out of them and like realize that, and almost like I'm almost getting also like maybe even you can like when I say resources, like maybe there's even a way you can like move money around or something to make things easier. Almost like, yeah, it's like you could, if you move some money around, maybe you could like pay someone to clean the house, or you could like pay a babysitter a couple nights a week or so, just like kind of the idea that like if you took another like kind of more careful look at your finances, and not careful isn't even the right word, if you just kind of like thought creatively about your finances and the way you're budgeting things, it's like there are definitely like opportunities to make life easier for yourself that you're not taking advantage of right now because you've gotten sort of like entrenched in this idea that like this defensive energy is like all there is, kind of, or like that you have to be in that energy. Yeah, again, it's kind of an odd, maybe that's, I don't know, it's a maybe like overly specific message, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. And like once you're able to connect with the Seven of Pentacles, this like sense of ease of like kind of calling in your resources and like making use of the opportunities available to you, it's like then you'll be able to connect with this sense of ease and this like new sort of like freshness of spirit, if you know what I'm saying, like a new beginning for your just like refreshing your mind and your soul, kind of. Okay, so next I'm going to move to your oracle cards. I pulled a few of those as well. We're going to start out with these Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle cards, and I'm going to flip these over. I may have to look at the book because I don't have all of these memorized. We'll see what we've got here. We've got Black Tourmaline and Oralite 23. Interesting, Oralite 23 has a number in the name of the crystal. So, but anyway, with Black Tourmaline, yeah, I mean, number one, it's the number one card that relates to new beginnings, initiative, the self, Aries that may be significant to you. Maybe you have strong or, important Aries placements. Black Tourmaline is, traditionally a stone of protection, of boundaries. That's what I definitely know off the top of my head. I will look at the book just to see if there are any further messages, because there usually are. But definitely this, I can see already that this Black Tourmaline card is connecting with that sense of, putting up boundaries with yourself and with other people and saying that enough is enough. So we'll take a look at that. Yeah. So Black Tourmaline absorbs negative energy and affords excellent energetic protection, enhancing your physical vitality. So yeah, Black Tourmaline, it's a fairly like well-known common stone. It may be something that you want to work with. Definitely enhancing physical vitality, I think is really important here. This Ace of Cups sort of refreshing energy. It's just like, consolidate plans and be realistic. You'll soon see the way through obstacles. I think that's really important here. It's like, watch your thoughts, attend to practical matters, be generous and give others freedom. So sometimes like be generous and give others freedom. I mean, once again, that may relate to what I was saying earlier. It's like, sometimes if you let other people do some of these tasks, instead of feeling like you have to do it all yourself, if you have like kids who are a little older, if you give them each like a list of chores and say, even if it isn't done perfectly and exactly to your liking, if it still like more or less gets done, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, delegating a task, even if you realize it isn't going to get done perfectly or exactly to your standard. I mean, that still might take some of the pressure off of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because again, some of this, feeling like you have to do it all yourself is this feeling that everything needs to be perfect. Maybe there's some perfectionism here, feeling like you need to kind of be in control. Maybe there's a little bit of like some control thought patterns that you need to sort of work through. That could be something you're looking at. Neutralizing toxic energies from your environment, shielding like things like EMF stress, detoxifying your body. So I think, and I also think, you've just absorbed a lot of stress, and again, like I said, Black Tourmaline may be a good stone to work with, but anything you can do to kind of de-stress energetically and physically. And I think that's part of what this Ace of Cups is here to talk about is, I'm even hearing like a massage or like a spa day or something, just renewal, refreshment. Big on refreshment with this Ace of Cups here. So the other crystal card we've got is Orlate 23. That's a 24 card. 24 may be significant to you. 24 reduces to a 6, which is the which is the number of balance, harmony. It's like harmony in like family and personal relationships. So I think, again, bringing more balance to your life and into your personal relationships is something that's highlighted here. The 6th house is connected with Virgo, which is the house of, or the sign of, personal routines, service, health. So again, really important here. We'll see what Orlate 23 has to say. Okay. Orlate 23 has a sedative effect on the mind, stilling it so that profound healing and conscious connection with your soul, the universal mind, and higher dimensions occurs. I think, again, it says beneficial contacts come through friends and family. It is not so much what you know as whom that counts now, and that includes higher beings. So I really think that, again, this is functioning on multiple levels for you. First of all, like the sort of the most physical element is saying that, with this beneficial contacts, it's like there are maybe things that you can offload to people in your life. Like you can ask for help. You can, like I said, if you potentially reorganize your budget, you can get some more help in the house, just stuff like that. But then on another level, they were talking about kind of healing and balancing the mind and spirit. Sedative effect. I think like on a higher level, your guides and angels and sort of spiritual team are working on just healing you, healing your mind, healing your thoughts, healing your body. Like you're receiving a lot of healing right now. Just energetic and spiritual healing, energetic upgrades through this process. Like I think releasing some of these like conditioned thought patterns that like you are all alone and that you need to do it all yourself, and that you can never get a sense of peace and never have a sense of ease in your life. I think that's all, it's being healed right now, and that kind of is like the level up that they're wanting you to integrate. All right, so continuing, you've got your archetype cards. I pulled 2 of those, and we'll just kind of look at them, and I'll talk about, the light and shadow aspects depending on where I'm called. So we've got Samaritan, oh boy, and Child Nature. So Samaritan, this is pretty, it's just, again, this card tends to show up a lot when you're overgiving, right? It's when you're, I feel like, again, we're thinking about this in 2 ways here, right? Number one, you're giving too much of yourself right now. It's like you're giving so much that your cup is depleted. Like you're giving from an empty cup because you don't have, with this 2 of, if I can pull this out here, this 2 of Wands here, it's like you don't have anything left to give, right? It's like you're putting up a boundary. You're saying, no, I'm done. I can't, be in this dynamic anymore. So, you need to learn to be able to fill your own cup before you can give to others and have this balance of giving and receiving in your life. And I think also to that end with the Samaritan, it's like the idea of allowing others to help you, and know, like realizing that there is support in your life, and that like it's okay to ask for help, and that like you can cultivate this appropriate balance of giving and receiving. Like you can learn to receive and trust that there is help and support available for you, and you can make changes in your life to allow help and support to come to you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with the Samaritan energy. And then child nature. So we've got friendships with animals, communication with nature, spirits, and the shadow attribute, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm hearing the word gentleness. Like, I think it's like you're just not being gentle with yourself. And I think it's like tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. It's like you're allowing yourself to be abused. It's like you're allowing your equanimity is the word that I'm hearing. You're allowing your sense of peace. Like your stress levels are out of control. It's like you're subjecting yourself to this abuse, and like for what? It's just not, it's not helpful, and it's it's not like it's actually making you like it could probably even be making you irritable and unkind to the people in your environment, like whoever this Page of Swords is that's running around and tracking mud all over the carpet. Like, you're probably not the nicest person to them sometimes, because you're just so stressed out, and you feel like, like they're just, their behavior is just causing you so much consternation. Like it's just kind of stressing you out, and so you're not able to show up in the way that you like for your friends and family. And along with this filling your cup, I mean, it's quite possible that you need to get out in nature a bit. Maybe you need to take a walk in a park, or whatever outdoor space is available to you. If you don't have a pet, maybe it's time to think about getting one, because pets can be great for stress levels. Maybe you're someone who has a special connection with animals. Maybe that's something that really helps fill your cup. That's something I'm kind of hearing. Yeah, just like anything having to do with the natural world is something that might be really restorative for you. But overall, just like gentleness, being gentle with yourself and being gentle with others. Because I'm just seeing this picture of this girl. Sorry, the light's kind of glaring. This picture of this girl who's like really kind of gently hugging this rabbit. So that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so lastly, we're gonna look at, I pulled a Moonology card, and then I've also got a Harry Potter like meditation wisdom card. I forget exactly the name of the deck. I'll link it in the description box, but that'll be the last card that we look at. So your Moonology card is bring love into the situation with new moon in Aquarius. Yeah, this is a really interesting card, and sometimes can be hard to interpret, because in the book it talks a lot about detachment, but the card says bring love into the situation. So what I'm feeling here is, first of all, bring love into the situation. Like you've got to bring some more love into the situation for yourself. This will be a new beginning for you. This restoration of your spirit, and this sort of de-stress, and this letting go of some of these again, mental stressors and patterns. But I think bring love into the situation. So bringing love into the situation for yourself, being able to bring more love into the situation for others when they stress you out. But the thing is, or when they exhibit those behaviors, but the thing is, you can only do that if you detach enough to realize kind of what's creating some of those problems in the first place. So again, like I said, get out of this really sort of, again, so the Seven of Wands is a fiery card. Wands is fire energy. So it's like this sort of defensive, reactive energy. Stepping outside of that and realizing what you can do to change things, like the material changes you can make in order to make your life a little easier. Just really detaching from the situation, looking at it objectively, taking real and substantive steps to make life easier for yourself, and to really communicate with others about what you need in order to feel good, and in order to fill your cup. That might be necessary as well. And then, having this new beginning in love. So, having this new beginning in, like communication and relationships, and just overall like understanding of the people in your life and understanding of yourself. Okay, all right, so the last thing that we're going to do is, like I said, that Harry Potter card. If you don't like, or if you don't know anything about Harry Potter, we'll still be able to get messages. It's not a big deal. But your card says identity, and it has, all the cards kind of have different themes, and yours is identity, so we'll see what your meditation is. It is not our abilities that show us what we truly are. It is our choices. Professor Dumbledore, Harry Potter, and the Chamber of Secrets. Think back to the last major choice that you made. What were the circumstances, and how do you think that choice fits into your understanding of your identity? Yeah, I mean, kind of like what I'm getting from that is that, like, and I don't even know if this is a major choice, but you know what I was saying before about kind of we have the Samaritan, and if I can find that Eight of Swords card, it's like, to what degree has this sort of like struggle bus kind of like going it alone, like I'm gonna tough it out and say yes to everything, and you know, like, and again, like I said, martyr is kind of a strong word, but it is kind of that energy of having to do it all and be all things for all people, and you know, like maybe on like a from like a purely objective perspective, like maybe you can do that, like maybe you're able to do that, maybe you can accomplish a to-do list of like 27 items every day, but like, should you be? I mean, in terms of choices, like what better choices could you make that are kinder to yourself and that are like more affirming and more loving of your relationships? And you know, if you think back to, you know, again, this is what were the circumstances and how do you think that choice fits into your understanding of your identity? It's like, well, you know, if you have these people in your life who are making trouble for you and you're stressed out and overworked and you snap at them, you know, because you're saying, oh, well, like I have to do this all myself, or I never get any help. And that's kind of the story that you're constantly reiterating to them. It's like, what do you think, like when you choose to say things like that, or when you choose to, you know, continue to allow yourself to be aggravated and aggrieved around them, how does that fit into your understanding of your identity? And how is that, you know, to the extent that this like struggle energy is wrapped up in your identity, like how can you transform and transmute that so that, you know, you yourself are happier and you have better relationships, or and your relationships are more harmonious and loving? And I think that's what they're asking. I mean, I kind of think that's the meditation here. It's not our abilities that show us what we truly are. It is our choices. So it's not the fact that we can do all this stuff. You know, it's how we treat people in our life and how we sort of like integrate them into our lives, you know? Okay, so that's going to be, I'm going to leave your reading there, pile 4. If this resonated and if you enjoyed this reading, if it was helpful, please go ahead and leave a like or subscribe to see more of my upcoming pick a card videos. If, you know, as you continue to follow my content, you feel called to seek a personal reading from me, I'm going to have that link in the description box. And I hope to see you at my next video.